Hey, good morning, guys. Okay, I'm having to re-record this because it aired and it did not come out. Okay, so I'm going to do a condensed version of 6.2 for you. Okay, here we go. Where are we? Share. All right. Okay, so we're going to go over genetic disorder, pedigree, and karyotype. So a genetic disorder is an abnormal condition that a person inherits through the genes and the chromosomes. Some genetic disorders are caused by the changes in the DNA and the genes. Other disorders are changes in the overall structure of the number of chromosomes, such as Down syndrome. So common genetic disorders include cystic fibrosis, sickle cell disease, hemophilia, and Down syndrome. Cystic fibrosis is a genetic disorder in which the body produces abnormal thick mucus in the lungs and intestines. It makes it hard for the person to breathe and digest food. Really nasty stuff. The allele that causes the cystic fibrosis is recessive, so it's not a dominant allele. Currently, there's no cure for cystic fibrosis, but there's lots of different treatments, okay? So here's a sickle cell. This is a normal blood cell, okay? See the difference? All right, sickle cell disease or sickle cell anemia is the genetic disorder that affects hemoglobin and the protein in the blood that carries the oxygen, so they can't carry oxygen properly. People with sickle cell disease suffer with lack of oxygen in the blood and experience pain and weakness. The allele that causes the sickle cell disease is codominant with the normal allele, so you can be a carrier and not know it. People that have two sickle cell alleles have the disease. People that have one sickle cell produce both normal and abnormal hemoglobin, which usually have no symptoms of the disease, but could potentially pass it down to their offspring. Hemophilia is a genetic disorder in which the blood clots very slowly or not at all. Okay, so basically you bleed out for like a pinprick. It's crazy. People with the disorder do not produce one of the proteins needed for blood clotting. Hemophilia is caused by a recessive allele on the X chromosome. So boys and girls can get it. All right, Down syndrome, I'm sure you guys have heard this one before. Down syndrome is a genetic disorder that is due to the extra copy of chromosome number 21. Most often, this occurs when the chromosome fails to separate properly during meiosis. Okay, so remember the meiosis process, or chromosomes supposed to split? Well, unfortunately, it doesn't split properly, and it gets an extra copy. So people with Down syndrome have a distinctive physical appearance and some degree of mental retardation. Many people with Down syndrome lead full and active lives. It doesn't mean that they're going to be super unhealthy. It just means that they're cognitively impaired to a certain point. Geneticists trace the inheritance traits through several generations of families. Okay, so pedigree is a chart or a family tree that tracks members that have particular traits. Okay, so this is kind of dated. Today, doctors use tools such as karyotypes, which is condensed chromosomes arranged in pairs to help diagnose genetic disorders. People with genetic disorders are helped through medical care, education, job training, and other methods. So it's really important, guys, that you understand that with this, doctors use karyotypes, but they're also using like three-dimensional rendering on what your DNA looks like. It's really ridiculously cool, and I'm still trying to find the video for you. Hopefully I find it by Friday and we can watch it Friday. To detect chromosomal disorders such as Down syndrome, a doctor examines the chromosomes of each person's cells. The doctor uses a karyotype or a picture of all the chromosomes in a cell to examine the chromosome. The chromosomes are arranged in pairs. A karyotype, excuse me, can reveal whether a person has the correct number of chromosomes in his or her cells. So there are people that are called genetic counselors, and they help understand the chances of having a child with a particular genetic disorder after they take a look at your karyotype. If they can see that your karyotype is healthy and you have low probability, they can tell you that there's going to be low probability. But they can also look at your family tree or your pedigree and see that, you know what, hey, um, you have this that runs in your family. Let's just say heart attacks or heart disease. Okay. So you're going to have a certain percentage or probability that your child will have this when they're a certain age. Kind of cool. It's kind of scary that they can do that, but it's really cool. So that's it. Try to work on 6.2. I will really help you guys to see if we can get further into it. Maybe I can find the video that I was going to show you and we can do this on Thursday. Okay. Remember, no test on this chapter at all. So um, that'll kind of put your mind at ease, I hope. All right, guys. Do your best. So do 6.2 in Google Classroom. It's already posted. Find it and yeah, piece of cake. Okay. Um, I will be available, but I'm doing a Mesa training on computer science and Raspberry Pis, which are like little mini computers that you can program. Ooh, ooh, it's gonna be kind of fun. So yeah, and I'll be grading. My head hurts now. All right, have a good morning. I'll see you guys soon. Bye. Where's my mouse? There it is.